Well, hello, my diet disruptors. Carrie here, and welcome to another Monday episode of Live with Disruptive Nutrition. And you can see I have a guest today. I love it when it's not just me. So everybody in the comments, wherever you are tuning in from, whether it's on YouTube, in our Facebook group, or in our Facebook page, say hi to Mandy. Hi, Mandy.
Hi.
I am so excited that you're here. Mandy is a diet disruptor. She's one of you guys. And she's been working with us for a little while. And her story is so incredible, inspiring. And I just said to her, Mandy, you gotta share this with others. I think I say this all the time, right? Like, if you have figured out the solution, the answer, the thing, you have a responsibility to share it. It's how I started this company. And so Mandy, you have a story and this responsibility to share it. So I'm really excited that you're here. Are you excited?
I am. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you are welcome. I've seen you kind of blossom in so many ways from when you started to where you are now. And if there's a word that I could use, at least from my perspective of where you are, I would put in, I would use the word confident. Do you feel like that confidence has been established in a new way since you started working with us?
That has definitely been my biggest change, I think. Yes.
Amazing. I love that. I love that. So let's dig in and let's talk about confident Mandy over here. So Mandy, how did you find us? How did you, connect with us? And then why did you want to work with us?
Yeah. So I have a history of unhealthy relationships with food that goes back generations. And so
What do you mean
in,
by that? What do you mean by that?
yeah, so it it was geared all towards around weight,
Mhm.
but it really, I mean, the outward focus was weight.
Yep.
But there was no value of food. There was no, I mean, I grew up not eating fruits and vegetables hardly ever. I had to teach myself how to eat better once I got out on my own, but it was just unhealthy. There was no value in food. And it was always what you can't have and don't eat too much of this or whatever.
Because
And
you'll gain weight.
yes, it was all around weight. It was
Yep.
never about health.
Yep.
And so that was where it's only been the last few years that I think that's really changed for me, because I finally learned that that it was so much more than just about weight. However, I say
And
that,
let's be real. Weight is a part of
yeah,
the equation. It just can't be the whole equation because we'll do the wrong things if
right.
that's the focus.
And that's where I actually still found you, because I still wanted to lose weight like that. But at the core, I said this has to be about more than just weight. So when I found you, that was really what I wanted, was to lose some more weight, because I just kept creeping and creeping, and I just knew I needed to stop.
So
But
how
deep
did you find
down,
us?
I it was a random thing online at some point. I don't know what I had been searching for. But it took me a good 6 months to be ready.
Yeah. So this happens a lot, right? So people meet this random chick on Facebook. Me. If you met me randomly on Facebook, type in the words random, because I know I show up in people's feeds and they're like, could she just be like this another person just kind of spouting whatever? And that's one of the reasons why this group is so important to me. I want people to see people like you and me and our hearts and really what we're here for. So how did you know you weren't ready? And then how did you know you were ready? Was it trust in me or was it trust in yourself? Which
I,
one was it?
I think it was more trust in myself, and it was a timing thing. Honestly, I didn't want to give up stuff, and I just wasn't ready to give up. And it was just a struggle, an internal struggle on that front.
And did you feel
Uh,
like working with me meant you were going to have to give up stuff?
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Do you still feel that way?
no, I mean, it's weird because I have given up stuff, but I don't feel like n- I just don't feel the same way about it.
Isn't it interesting if somebody tells you you can't have blank, 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 you are like, at least for me, and I know my person, I'm like, don't tell me what I can't have.
Right.
But when we educate you and you get to experience what for a few weeks your body does when it's really served what it needs, then everything's a choice. Everything is possible. You can have anything you want. I just want you to be intentional about it and make the decision and not be impulsive. But you've
And
made
that
decisions
helps.
not to
Yeah.
have stuff.
Yeah. That intentionality, that word intentionality was really big for me, because I continued to just say, nope, this is an intention. I am intentionally not doing this. I can have it, but I don't want that right now, because it's not gonna feed me. It's not, it was just a different perspective altogether.
Yeah. I mean, we talk all the time about the fact that food can't be good or bad. Food can't be unhealthy or healthy, because then it's binary and it has all that power on you. But food serves your body or food serves your soul. And if it doesn't do either, then you got to ask yourself why you're doing it. And I think that that's one of the big things that you now have when we talk about confidence. You know
Right.
about food, you know your body, and you can listen to it. And when you have that, you can confidently make decisions that you want to authentically make, not because you of the guilt or the shame or because you're trying to lose 5 pounds. It's because
Right.
you know your body now. Would you agree?
Yes. And before now, I mean, literally for years, I had no clue what my body likes, doesn't like. Like, what I always felt the same, which was not very good.
Right.
And nothing, and even, I mean, for years, I mean, even when I would get massages years ago, they would try to, do you feel that, does this, I don't know. I just feel blah. So it has been amazing after the 4 weeks to wellness, when I really just cleaned everything out, then I started having things and I'm like, ooh, okay, that kind of made me feel whatever. Okay, well, what was that? Because I was still eating clean. So then, hey, this is actually something my body just doesn't like. It's not that it's necessarily bad for me. It's a whole new thing. I've never experienced that before.
So I say all the time when I talk to women all across the country, I say, what do you need to do to get healthy? Right. And women will always say, I got to eat better, because we always say we're eating bad. Right. And then, or could be better. I got to exercise, all of this. But the thing that we talk about all the time in our programs is self-awareness, and that's actually the key to getting healthy. And so would you say that you are so much more aware of yourself, your needs, and what your body wants?
I think so. Yes.
And how does that translate into healthy or strong, optimal health, all that stuff, losing weight, all of that?
Well, I mean, I think a big part of it is it helps me make decisions that are better for my body. Like it makes my body happier. It makes me feel better. And so, whereas before, since I didn't really have, I mean, everything just kind of felt the same. It was like, well, why make this decision that seems good? Why make that decision when I don't feel any different or whatever?
Yep.
So now I can feel my body saying, no, you don't really need this. And the other thing, like, I have always had cravings of all different sorts. And that was a hard thing. I was really not looking forward to, okay, well, how am I going to fight these cravings? I did not have one single craving during the 4 weeks to wellness. Yeah. And I still, even today, I don't really have cravings. It's more now, if I see something or smell something that, tastes good or whatever, then I would kind of want it. But I have not had, and I did not think that was possible at all. I love my sugar. I love my salt. I love everything, and I thought that was going to be the hardest challenge for me. And it wasn't. I mean, my daughter had a birthday party with this super ooey gooey cake, and I didn't even want it. Like it wasn't even, and I was like, this is so awesome.
Isn't that amazing?
Have that control.
Yes, because we keep blaming ourselves. Like the first thing you do is blame yourself that you have no control, no willpower, that kind of thing. But when your body is actually balanced, when your blood sugar is consistently where it needs to be, then the craving isn't physical. We think it's always emotional, but in all reality, the craving is typically physical. And when you've taken that away, then it becomes a choice. Then you are in control. Could you have had that cake? Do you know how to have had the cake? Do you feel like you could have?
I could have, yes.
But you said you didn't want it. There's a big difference there, right?
And I have had some treats.
Yeah, of course. We all have, right?
But now it's intentional and it's healthier. Like it's still, like at Christmas, I had pumpkin pie and totally enjoyed it, but made it healthy.
Yeah.
healthier, made it
Yeah.
correct, I guess is the right way to say it.
Balanced, right? Yeah. And
Balanced,
that's
yeah.
where Coach Just always says that this approach is filled with grace and kindness and love, where you're no longer putting food in these categories of good or bad, or I quote unquote cheated, right?
Mhm.
You actually know how to make any meal a correctly balanced PFC meal if it's not even healthy. So there's so much gray area, right?
Mhm.
And then you can also decide this is going to be an appreciation meal, and then I'm going to
Right.
just go for it. And there's no guilt
Right.
behind that either. So how would you describe, if it was like kind of a Twitter feed, what your life was like before and what life is like for you now?
Um, I mean, it was chaos.
Okay.
And I say that that's kind of like I kind of look at you have that example that you share all the time of the plate spinning and the the different facets that we have. And I feel like that was the chaos is just everything in my life was a juggle. And I didn't feel good about any of it, like where I was with any of it. And now, slowly but surely, I'm getting back to balance.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
I'm
love
not there yet, and I have a long way to go.
that.
But I feel so much better about where I'm going, about where I'm at, and just that I'm going to get, that I can have balance.
Yep. And I think that that's huge. Now, one of the things I love that, from like chaos to confidence in a lot of ways, right? And I always say confidence does not come because you've met your goals. Confidence comes when you know what you're doing is right. And I know we're all still working on certain goals. And that's one of the beauties of what we talk about. If you just get to your goal weight, or your goal, whatever it is, size and clothing, then what do you do? Was that your purpose? Was just to be a certain size? No, like we're constantly working on moving forward. But let's talk about the progress you've made from when you started working with us to now, because you've seen physical changes in your body, right? In addition to the changes that you've had within just the way that you're living your life. So let's talk about that.
About just the progress.
Yeah, whatever progress you've made in your body and all of that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've definitely lost weight, and I've lost more than I think I expected. Um, but I'm not tied to the number either. Like I'm not really checking my weight. In fact, my mom keeps saying, "Have you lost more?" And I'm like, Probably not. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really, So that's a freedom there, and that and I do feel better about
But
how
your
I look.
clothes fit differently too, right? Like
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm several sizes down. Yeah,
I mean, Mandy,
yeah,
and this is what's crazy to me with these women. When you first came to us, your goal was to lose weight. Really? I mean, you knew that you needed more than that, right? That's why you wanted to work with us. But every woman where they're like, I need to lose weight, right? And then we start to reframe the goals and because when you get to your optimal health, you're going to get to your optimal weight. But when we focus on the scale, when we focus on that number, we become enslaved to it, and then we get blinded to all the other areas of progress. You have talked about everything else other than weight, and I had to pull out the clothes to you. You're several sizes down. That, I mean, non-scale victories, because we know weight gain is a symptom of health and hormones. You are eating more than you would have ever eaten on a diet. Am I right?
yes,
And you are satisfied, your cravings are gone, you have more confidence, and you are several sizes down. Like, to me, that is the equation of like, hallelujah. Isn't that what we're all looking for?
right.
Yeah. So I'm so excited about that for you. So you knew you weren't quite ready, right? When you first heard about us, and it took you like 6 months to decide that you were going to jump on a call and or figure out, a plan for you. What was it that you knew you were ready? Like, when did you know? Because a
I
lot of
don't think
women
I
are like,
did.
how do I know I'm ready? Right.
Yeah, I still don't think I was ready. I think it was, so I did a workshop, which helped because, it was several days of like really getting into what you teach. And so I wanted it really bad. And I wanted something sustainable. I mean, that was really key for me is I have two young kids. Um, I struggle to cook as it is. And now we're talking about just changing the way that we cook altogether. And I just needed something sustainable. And so that was a key piece of your program that really drew me in. And I mean, I think I finally just said, oh, well, I had also started really working on my health in general, like from a natural doctor.
Yeah.
And I realized that all the work I was putting into my health was really getting stopped by not fueling it well. And
Yes.
so the food piece was the biggest piece missing at that point.
Yeah.
So I
And
needed to get a
yet,
point meal.
I mean, I love the fact that like we eat in three ways, right? We cook amazing recipes. If you're cooking dinner for your family already, like just grab one of the recipes. They're so simple. We have grab and go options and then quick meal replacements like a protein shake or a protein bar. So however you're living, it's not actually that much of a shift. It's just reframing kind of what we understand about food. And to be very honest with you, I mean, I learned the food pyramid. That's all I learned in school, which is so antiquated. Calories in, calories out. Don't eat carbs, don't eat fat. You know, all of the things that just make it so complicated. And we just tried to break it down and make it simple. So in your chaotic life, you kind of finally decided this is what I'm going to do. But what I hear though too is like there was a confidence in saying like, okay, I think I can do this. And that's when you decided to pull the trigger. Even though you weren't fully there, there was like a tad bit of confidence, but I think more trust that we would get you there.
I think that was it.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. That's really important to me that people trust that we're not going to let you fail.
Right.
You
And that
know?
was a key piece. And honestly, having a coach was also a key piece for me.
Mhm.
And I didn't even know that that was where I was going to go when I initially signed up.
Right.
But it was more about, okay, this has to work. Like,
Yeah.
I have to make this work. If I'm going to invest in this, I have to make it work. And so, and I just didn't want another diet. I wanted it to be more than just another diet. And so, getting a coach was really key that I didn't know. And I asked a few people, not related to this, just that have had health transformations. I was like, did you have a coach? Oh yeah, I couldn't have done it without a coach. And I'm like, oh, okay. I really, okay, I'm just going to have to go all in.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes it breaks my heart if people aren't if they're like just dipping their toe in one way or here. And it's actually why we've adjusted some of our options for programs because I don't want people attacking this like that they do any other quote unquote diet where they're like, just give me the meal plan. Just tell me what to eat and that'll be it. Because if you don't do it with the right support, you're not going to see the results that you really want to see. And then you're going to move on and you're going to think this didn't work. And then you're never going to come back. And I am so passionate about the fact that this is the last nutritional advice you'll ever need. Do it right, do it for the last time, and you'll never have to do it again. Well, you'll always be doing it, but you'll never have to search again because you were not put on this earth, Miss Mandy, to find the perfect diet. You were put
Yeah,
on
I
this
mean,
earth for something so much more.
I'd be searching forever if it was only about a diet.
And then missing your purpose.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's one of the things that I'm so proud of you for. So could you imagine? So Mandy has also decided, okay, like she's invested in herself. She started off doing our 4 weeks to wellness and then continued to just work with a coach, work with us and understanding more about her sustainability skills, about her intentionality, about really making this truly work for a lifetime. And I love that. And and that's when Mandy was like, oh my gosh, like I found these answers. And I always say when I realized this, I was like, everybody needs to know this. There's a responsibility here. And so Mandy, you've actually taken on another role of responsibility of really helping women around the world be able to see this is so important and became one of our ambassadors, our health enthusiast ambassadors, to be able to help people have access and opportunity to this. So tell me a little bit more about why you wanted to share this with others and kind of influence people in that way.
It has just made such a difference for me. To think about where I've struggled in the past. Um, like I said, the no cravings was a huge thing for me. Like to know that, well, the cravings were because I wasn't fueling my body. And that's what it's all about, is getting that proper fuel. Um, and that so many people, especially women, just struggle with their health and weight their whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like this, and I mean, I've only been doing this, I don't know, 6 months, 5 months, I don't know how long. And the difference that it's made already and the confidence that I have now that I am making good choices, and the difference that it's going to make for my family, for my kids.
Yes.
I did not grow up eating well. I didn't grow up with a relationship with food that was even positive. I mean, it was just all negative.
Yep.
And so the change that this is going to make for our family, that I just want for other people.
Yep. That's exactly right. And so now you went from chaos to confidence and in so many ways now to an influencer. Like you can't keep it a secret. Right. And when you know something that you know can help others, we have to share it. And so I'm so proud of you because, again, you're continuously working to your goals, but your confidence did not come because you've met them. Your confidence comes when you know what you're doing is right. And between us, you have a responsibility to share that when you know it. So I'm so, so, so proud of you. So what would you say to people who are like, I don't know if I'm ready, right? Like how do we help them see if they're really ready to stop going around the mountain over and over and over again? What would be your advice?
The biggest thing is, I mean, do you ever really feel ready for any step you take? There's always going to be hesitation. And the question is,
It's like
so when
parenting,
will?
right? We really
Yes.
ready to have that kid?
No, exactly. And so you just take one step at a time. This program is all about community, and we're here to help. And so make sure you're around those kind of people, and just
Yeah.
taking it one thing at a time, and you'll get there.
I love that. And I think that hopefully they'll see a little bit of our hearts in this. And even if they don't trust themselves, they trust us to
Right.
let them know that we don't let you fail. We stick with you because I always say, like, we're really, really good at what we do. And we want to prove it. So we're not going to let you fail. So
Exactly.
Mandy, I am so proud of you. I think about our conversations from the very beginning and just seeing where you are now. I want that in just a few months. And I want that for the other people in your lives and people around the world. I think we'd be in a very different place right now in our world if we could all have that level of confidence and knowledge to be able to go do the things we're actually put on this earth to do. And
I agree.
look at you. You're changing a bit of your path because of the journey that you've been on. So I'm super proud of you.
Thank you so much.
All right. So you guys, thank Mandy. This is her first live episode with us. So I am so proud of her for that and stepping out. So say thank you to Mandy. And if you are ready to even engage in the conversation about what it would mean for you and what these steps are, just put in the comments ready. We'll also put a link where you can connect with us too, so that you can kind of take the step, a bit of a leap of faith, but not that much, because we have so many stories like Mandy and people like her that feel drawn to be able to support others in this way too. So you got a whole team. All right, Mandy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank Mandy, everybody.